Hello and welcome. Today we are going to talk about, now we are in the network, we are, but now we want to do some more intriguing things, like some interesting things right there. So we want to utilize this section, which is the sniffing and spoofing. Are going to utilize these tools right here. Those are the tools that we are going to be utilizing. Wow. So that's it. So, like I said, I really believe cybersecurity is easy and it should be easy for everybody because of the tools that are written. Um, so right now I'm gonna open this one. Yeah. So the very first thing is we're gonna do is sudo su. Like every time we're always doing sudo su. Then we're gonna clear the screen like that. Then we do if config like that. So now we were sniffing the traffic, but right, we want to try and inject some codes inside of it. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to open my let me clear the screen once more, and I'm going to open my beef axis like that. So I did a video about beef and you actually know it and you saw it. So I'm going to put the password beef 123, and then I'm going to another tab and I'm going to run sudo su. I'm sorry, let me clear that. I said sudo su like that, and I'm going to run bettercap minus I face VLAN 0 like that. So now I'm going to open Bettercap and it's going to do some magic for me. So what I'm going to do right now, I have this help and I'm going to utilize this. So I'm going to do what we call man in the middle attacks. So I'm going just to have them so that you can actually see them here. So I'm going to do the DNS spoof stuff. So we start with app spoofing, and then we are going to have DNS spoofing, and then we are going to have HTTP proxy. We are going to inject some HTTP packets right inside our network. So yeah, like we're going to have help app.spoof. So app.spoof is going to be spoofing the app or the address resolution protocol. That's the one it will be. That's what is that will be happening. Um, it's very it's very interesting, you know. Well, app spoofing. So it's going to be doing that. It's going the address resolution protocol is the one that resolutes the address and stuff. So the thing is that instead of the packets going straight to the router or the gateway, they are going to pass through us. So we are going to we are going to be telling that we are the gateway, and then we are going to be modifying packets and do whatever we want to do with those packets, you know, because we are the ones who are, yeah, you know. All right. So where is it? And so here is beef axis. So beef, and then we're gonna put the password. We set beef 123 like that. So not now. So I just want to go open my mouse pad so that we can actually have this thing very interesting. We're gonna check this hook of ours. So we're just gonna set it right here. If config that, we're just gonna take our IP, right? Copy that, and then we're gonna paste it. Good. So this one is just gonna stick around right there. We're not gonna do anything with it right now. So we're just gonna focus on the terminal. So we know that the targeted device is this one, which is 136, and this one, this is the targeted device. I'm just gonna remove that. Oh, I removed all the tabs. Oh, I just opened the Opera browser, and I really don't like using the Opera browser. All right, so now we are going to set. You can see that we can set some spoofing targets, right? So you can say set up dot spoof dot, that's the Opera browser, dot targets, like that, and I'm going to put that computer is our target, 192.168.151.107. that the target was set. And then now we are going to dns.spoof help dns.spoof. So what dns.spoof is going to do is going to be replying to the messages with spoofed responses. The last time we did a sniffing, right, when we did network sniffing, we saw that when he was searching mother.local, it was reflecting on our device that he is looking for mother.local, and there were some responses which were given which are for mother.local. So right now we are going to set the spoof domains. The spoof domains, these are the domains we are going to spoof. So we actually know that on this network, the person looks for mother.local. So we are going to say set dns.spoof.domains mother.local, like that. I'm gonna hit enter, and we can actually set the host file. If you have a file that maps the IP to domains, yeah, you can actually create one, which will be very, very interesting. So the thing is that we align that we are the gateway by app spoofing, right? And then we are going to give them the replies according to their needs. Like if it's gonna say mother.local, we are going to spoof or to reply with a DNS reply. But the thing is, it's gonna say, hey, do you know who is mother.local? And you'll be like, oh, mother.local is 192.168.56 that. Of which here the address is the interface address, which is our address. That's the address that we're gonna use, and that's the address that they're gonna get replies from. So here I can just start our Apache server by saying service Apache to start, and it's gonna start that service right there. Right, so they are going to be loaded to us. Now let's go to the injection phase. Somebody had asked that question, madam, I really understood what you said about beef, but what if I'm not going to that site? Is that going to affect me? Yeah, this is going to affect you using this HTTP proxy here and HTTPS proxy. So let me just show you. So we say help HTTP dot proxy, like that. So we got this one, the http.proxy.inject.js. If you note that our beef has got a JavaScript file, that the hook is a JavaScript file. So we can actually put that hook here so that whenever that person goes to an HTTP website, the JavaScript is injected in their what in their web page. Look, it's injected into every HTML page, So it means that if you're gonna navigate, the whole thing is gonna be like right there. So we're gonna say, sorry. So we're gonna say set http dot proxy dot inject js to this one we just made. So we only need the address. That's all we need. So here you can actually make some custom JavaScripts according to your needs. Maybe somebody who can make a JavaScript that is going to replace all the images on that website or all the links on that website, which is your choice. But as for now, we're gonna stick on the hook.js. And we can actually enable SSL stripping. SSL is the one that is the secure version that's put on the HTTPS. The secure one is the SSL. So you're gonna strip it so that we're gonna force all the pages to go to an HTTP site instead of going to an HTTPS website. So you can allow that. But as for me, I'm not on the internet. I'm just on my local network and I don't have internet access, so I'm just gonna stick with that. But this same thing is also right there at help https dot proxy. You can see that we also have an https inject.js. So this is going to allow us to inject the the HTTPS inside, and we can actually inject a JavaScript in that HTTPS website. And now I think we just are ready to do some attack. So let's just go for help. I think we actually said that DNS spoof, we already set it. The app spoof, we already set it. The net.prob, net.sniff, no. The HTTP dot proxy. So now let's start. So the first things first, you can start with app.spoof. You actually saw the way we did it, right? But there's another way that you can start your app spoofing. I'll actually show you the manual way that you're gonna do some of these attacks, which is very interesting. But as for now, I know just because I've told you how to drive an automatic car doesn't mean that you don't have to go and learn to drive a manual car to know how the manual car works, because the automatic car came from the manual manufacturer and then it was modified into an automatic one. I'm not talking about cars, but those who have wisdom has already understood what I'm saying. So now let's start. We're gonna start. The thing is, let's start app dot spoof on. Now spoofing the target, and then what we are going to start with right here is the DNS. So the app is now telling that, hey, I am the gateway. I am the gateway. What I do, I am the gateway, and then that's cool. And then now let's do DNS.spoof. So this is what the page, the Apache page you did looks like. So it's let's just go like to localhost to home. So this is what the page looks like, the Apache page looks like. This is what it looks like. So we're going to search for it not on this machine but on another machine. So we're gonna say DNS.spoof on, like that. So now you can see that it's redirecting mother.local to the localhost, and you can come here and we're gonna say mother.local and so it's going to scan in its cache, because I'm not on the internet, but it's going to look for matter.local in its cache, and once it doesn't find it, it's going to get the replies from me, possibly. This what should happen, isn't it? Stand away. Oh, it should be start that net.sniff on, because we want to sniff the traffic, and then that traffic is the one that we want to modify. So you can actually see that. Let's query again. We have to restart that spoof. Maybe we're gonna turn it off, and then we're going to turn it on again. So that's matter.local is going to be redirected right there. So we're gonna say matter.local. So let's come here and let's look. Cannot find. Alright. So I cannot find spoof targets. So we just really have to restart that thing. I guess you have to restart it. Was it say could not find spoof targets? I actually set the spoof targets to what? Didn't I set them to 136? To 136. Oh, I set the up spoof targets to myself. Look, I was targeting myself instead of targeting that. Look, if I come here and do the matter.local, it's gonna work because I'm spoofing myself. Ah, come on. So you can actually see that saying, no. Let me reset to 136 like that. Alright, so now I'm gonna stop that app spoof. Let me just turn off everything. The app.spoof off, and now let's start again. It's good to get restart. The app.spoof on, and I put it to 136, didn't I? Did I just put it to 136, which is my, like this one, 168, 136. So now let's do the DNS spoof on. So now let's just have it, and let's go to matter.local, and then finish that. So you cannot find the targets. Net.sniff on. Okay, I get it. Let me just exit this thing. Let me just exit it. These are some of the things we face in a real world. I guess some of the time the tool doesn't work. That's why I said I have to teach you the automatic, the manual way, but the time the automatic way doesn't work the way you really expected it. So we're just gonna start setting all the things that we'll be setting. So let's start with app.spoof.targets to that's 136, like that, and let's go on to HTTP inject.js to that. If I hadn't set, I think the router itself is the one with the problem. Yeah, I think the router itself. Yeah, I'm actually disconnected on. That's the reason why Are we no longer on the same network? Wow, this is very ish. Let me just, there is no longer that. So I just have to, maybe I'm using a MiFi, so maybe the MiFi is now down, maybe something of that. All right. So now let's just restart it. Now we can see that the Wi-Fi is up right now. So if I hadn't put that up to spoof to target, it would have been up spoofing the whole subnet, which is not good because I really have a target and I have to put it. It's good to do some like one thing at a time, right? So now let's start setting that. Up to spoof of targets, that's 136. I'm gonna set the HTTP proxy.js. And what else? The DNS spoof. The DNS spoof. The DNS spoof domains. If you really want to put all the local domains, just put a status like this, and then you put the extension that you want. So you can actually put all the .coms if you want. And now I guess we are ready to go like this. Now we can actually start one at a time. So you can say, let's check if we are connected first. Not yet. Let's get connected. I guess you're now already connected right here. There you go. So now we can now start app.spoof on like that. And it doesn't see the app.spoof to targets, but we can actually have it off like that. So now I've noticed one thing. Before it starts the app spoofing, it starts looking for the device on the network using net.sniff. Right? So we can actually say, oh, and I can prove that to you. So it's doing net.recon. So now I'm going to do net.probe on again, net.probe on, and then it's going to start probing all that. So now I can do app.spoof on, like you can see, and then I can clear the screen like that, and then now I can do DNS dot gateway is here, right? Okay, now you can do DNS net dot sniff on like that, and yeah, it say it can't find the targets, whatever. The gateway changed. Oh, I'm getting a gateway error here. But you can actually see that we are having that. Let's just do that first so that you can see if it's genuinely sniffing the traffics. Right, there you go, there you go, there you go. So now we can actually start the DNS dot spoof on like that. So now we are redirecting matter.local to that, and let's come here and redo the matter.local, then look for that. So it's giving us the query. It still say it can't find the targets, the app.spoof targets. All right, so we just have to stop all this again. I don't know what's happening right now. App.spoof off. So if it's persisting there, no problem. We are just going to set the whole subnet. I guess the problem is this gateway changing and changing and changing. So I'm just gonna say that, and we are going to have the app spoof on. Hopefully it's gonna work, but it sounds like the gateway is the main problem here. Yeah, we are just trying to fight it. We're just gonna try to fight it. Alright, we are not having anything right there. Alright, so what I'm gonna do here is let me try to spoof. Let me just try to spoof the whole subnet if it's alright. We're just gonna put that star.local or .local things, and then we are going to the app.spoof.targets. We're going to put 1//24 like that when I spoof the whole subnet. So now I'm in aggressive mode right now, and then I'm going to say dns.spoof off. Now let's clear the screen and restart that. Let me exit first and restart the thing, and then like the gateway monitor started. Probably is gonna be. Now let's start with the app.spoof.targets to that, and then we're going to have those local, and then I'm going to set that proxy, the proxy to that. So now I'm going to say net.sniff on app.spoof on and dns.spoof on. So now it's going to be spoofing all these targets, and look at these targets right there. So let's just say net.sniff on. It's already running, right? So now let's come here and do the mother.local thingy. And let's try another one. We're gonna say, oh, right there, mother.local thing is right here with us. Wow. After a long struggle, yeah, the thing, I don't know why they were not working. As you actually saw, we actually did the same thing, but I don't know what was happening. Yeah, it's called a poor man's tutorial. You don't have those quality things. I'm just using this hotspot of mine, and it's just misbehaving, but at least you saw what I'm talking about. So even if I put another then I put, as long as I have put a .local in it, it's going to be redirected to the Apache. So it's going to look for this site in its cache, and then if it doesn't find it, then bang, it's gonna change it. So here you can actually see that it was saying the DNS spoof is sending DNS spoof to reply to that, and DNS spoof reply to that, and that to that. So now this is good, and this is quite interesting. So now what we're gonna do right here is we got beef control right there, and we got those people who are questioning me about what if I don't go to that website and then I find another website. So I'm going to have that HTTP proxy reply or inject. That's packet injection. We're going to be injecting some packets. So let me just clear the screen. Let me clear the screen. So now the server is running on 192 this one, and I'm gonna copy it. So I'm gonna say http.proxy on. So it's now it's SSL stripping disabled. So now I'm just going here to look for this Debian Apache site, right? So yeah, you can actually refresh that, and it's going to do some replies like it always does. But as for now, I'm going to the page itself, like the Apache page, which is, yeah, it's now sending some spoof to reply to that. It's lying. Look, it's lying that it is the gateway. That's interesting. So now we can just say we want to go to that site direct, and it's going to load. Oh, the network is unreachable. It should be 192. That's why it didn't work. It's 192. All right, let me paste it. Paste and fix that and put that one. Hit enter. 192.168. Now this is the gateway. I say it to 107. That's where I wanna go. So now it loads. Well, you notice that nothing happened, nothing at all. But if you come here, you wanna see the magic. Look at the look at the, and we're actually getting each and every detail that happened. Look, it was giving me the headers. Yeah, yes. As you can see, it was giving me the headers. But that's not what I wanted though, was I'd set the http.proxy on. Let me just get help. http.proxy. Alright, let me clear the screen first. It really didn't do what I wanted. I wanted to show you how, like, it injected a packet that, because if you come here, you can actually see that we now have an online browser on our beef. So how did that happen? That's the way I wanted to show you. So let me just close that, open it again, and then put that 192. All right, the 107. So now I don't know why I started logging that HTTP thing, but that's the way it is. Okay, now let's just open the Chrome, maybe the Opera. So I wanted it actually logs it right here that we is the net.sniff on. It was supposed to be doing that. Oh, making all these things. Okay, no problem. Oh, let's just copy that again. It was supposed to show us that it just injected some packets in there. But nonetheless, the good part is that now we got that browser right here, and we can actually start doing some things with it, some stuff. And when you actually have the whole browser, I was right there. I was just imitating somebody going to an HTTP site. Well, this is an HTTP server. So whatever HTTP site you're going to go, or that person is going to go, their browser is going to get injected with some traffic, with some JavaScript. I mean, so let's look at this. Oh, yo, come look at this, and then let's just paste it, and let's try to go there. And right there, it just opened another portal to heaven. And let's see, did it log it? Right, this is what I was looking for. Look, it's a HTTP proxy injecting JavaScript with 89 bytes into this. And it also injected into its favicon icon, was slash favicon icon. You want to see that we have a favicon icon right there. But to the user himself, when nothing happened, we just opened the page that we wanted to open, and we can actually read it. Okay, that was it. It's just that Opera takes a lot of resources, and I hate it. So let's just, those who will be studying, who will be doing some analysis, you can right click there, and then you say view page source. I don't know where that JavaScript was injected probably, but I know it was injected. Where is it? Tell me why ain't nothing but a heart. Alright, let's just find in page. I never did this forensic thingy, but I just had a feeling that it should be .js. Oh, yes, it. So it's just like it was put in the page. Look, HTTP, and it was injected right there before the body, and then everything else came into action. All right, how about of that favicon slash favicon dot icon? Is that so? Like that. Let's search it, and there you got the script injected inside. Wow. So nothing happened. You just went to an HTTP site, and if we had enabled, look, it was just injecting it still. If we had enabled SSL stripping, it was meaning that if somebody is going to a secure version of Facebook, he was going to be relocated to the unsecure version of Facebook, which is HTTP, not HTTPS. Wow, that was it for man in the middle attack. I guess now you got another vision of man in the middle attacks, which is quite good. You should actually know that so you can get help and just see the modules which are actually running so far. These are the modules which are running so far, and it's just something else. We can actually go and play around with all these modules, all these. It's very interesting. Now let me exit. So thank you so much for taking time to watch this and getting our browser hooked, and all this stuff. I really appreciate it. So thank you and bye.